Hello everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Wokey, and I'm back with another fake Grand Order video and another GSSR video. That's right, this is an even shorter, hopefully around 10-ish minutes long video where I talk about the Lucky Bag GSSR that is coming to the game with the anniversary. If you want an in-depth, longer video, I released that yesterday. This one's more because someone asked me a couple years ago to say, hey, can you release just a shorter version of this video? I don't have that much time and would just like some quick info. And I said, of course. And then if you want even a shorter amount of info, a short will likely be out on the day of or so. But that's gonna be today's video. I hope you like it. If you do, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you ended up watching this GSSR video as well. There are some people who just like, no, I just want to see the GSSR videos because you talk a lot on them. And I'm like, thank you. Thanks a bunch, dude. All right, and let's begin. So the Lucky Bag, it's going to be here for Anniversary. Anniversary is, of course, on the 4th of July, which is coming up real soon. It's the Saturday of Anime Expo. And during Anniversary, we typically have two GSSRs. One is Destiny Order and the other is Lucky Bag. Lucky Bag is the one that costs 15 paid sync quartz. So if you are free to play, you cannot summon on it at all, and Destiny Order costs 30 if you're interested in that. I also have another video where I go over that as well, where I really just build my own Destiny Order because it's really one where you build it yourself. In terms of this Lucky Bag, though, it is 17 banners divided by a theme. 5-star servants will be a random limited servant based on the pool of the servants on the banner. 1 4-star is guaranteed among limited and story servants. 4 stars and 3-star pools are shared between all banners, and then no unit released before Castoria released on the 5th anniversary is in any of these banners or are part of the GSSR. And like I said, only 15 paid sync quartz. So yes, 17 in total. In terms of which ones I think are the ones to look out for, so the thing you have to kind of keep in mind when you are a newish player, I think someone most recently asked me, when do I stop being a newer player? And I feel like it's once you've probably built up 1 support and 1 DPS to go with them is when you can finally say I'm no longer on the newer side. Or if you're someone who doesn't care about meta stuff, you've at least caught up to the most recent story, then you're not new anymore. You've somehow found a way to make it to the most recent chapter of the story without any of the most meta supports, anything. You just played for the fun of it. But that's typically what I would say if you are no longer a newer player. But in terms of those, the big meta supports are, of course, the 4 that everyone always talks about, which is Castoria, which is right here in the Fae Round Table Domain Pavilion, and Oberon, which is also in the Fae Roundtable Domain Pavilion. And then we go to Castoria is the supporter for arts. Oberon is a more generic general supporter. And then for the Buster support, you can find her over in the Golden Sea of the Tree Travelogue Pavilion. I feel like I'm talking about like I'm telling you where to find people in Disneyland or something. But anyway, that's where Koyanskaya of Light is, and Koyanskaya is the go-to Buster support, especially if you're looking for looping. She's more offensive based. There is another one, which is Merlin, but he is obviously not on any of these banners because he is a very old unit at this point. And then next we have the quick support, which is of course Summer Scotty, which she's right here in Summer Pavilion 2. And those are the ones that kind of go for. If you're a newer player and you're asking me, hey, which one of these should I try to prioritize if I'm someone looking for support, I think the most obvious one to summon on here is the Fae Roundtable Domain Pavilion because it has 2 out of the 4 I mentioned. Oberon is definitely a high risk, high reward type of support unit. He gives 70% total in terms of NP to someone. He can give that much. He gives 20% to the party and then 70% to one person. And his 3rd skill literally reads as a pure nuke button. But he also comes with kind of caveats. So there is blowback for a lot of his skills, so it can be maybe a little bit tough for a newer player. But I feel like if you're going through the story and stuff like that, Oberon's skills, you can experience the negative side effects of them, but it won't cost you the fight in general because it's still kind of easy in the early games. It's kind of like an easy go around as you kind of get more familiar with the character. Castoria is the exact opposite, where she's also an extremely strong support, but she's extremely easy to use. Just overall versatile in so many different ways. She's great defensively, she's great on an offense, she's just absolutely stunning. The only thing she can't do is really, the things she can't do are provided by other art supports which exist in the game, like stuff related to crit or stuff related to overcharge or stuff related to healing. But it means what she does is fantastic, and what her entire kit is built around support, and she's absolutely makes your life easier, so you should go for her. And then the other two units on this banner, which is again a 1 in 4 chance of him. So if you're trying to go for one of the supports, it's at least a 50-50, and then you have to win another 50-50. But in terms of here, we got Melusane and Morgan, which Melusane is a really good AoE and single target Lancer. Her single target is Arts Focus, and her AoE is Buster Focus, and Morgan is Buster Focus as well as an AoE. Both of them will do you wonders, especially if you're early on in the game, and even if you're late game, they still hold a lot of value as well. Plus, all these characters are super well beloved because Lost Belt 6 was just that fucking good of a story and stuff like that. Now, in terms of the other support banners, the Golden Sea of Tree Travelogues, Koyan Sky of Light is, as like I said, an amazing Buster support. She lets them loop. Kind of everything is kind of focused around her, especially because in her main gimmick, she has the ability to minus the skill cooldowns of abilities. So a lot of Buster units, in terms of their ability to loop, which if you don't know what a loop is, because I've mentioned it a little time here, it's the ability to, with a single unit, beat all 3 stages of a fight and be able to do that consistently and over again. So that's the way Buster loops, because they don't get NP gain back on their Noble Phantasms. They were never able to loop, or they could kind of loop, but it was like really weird versions of looping. But then Koyan Sky came out and gave them like a real loop. But anyway, she's fantastic, and the units that are on here with her are also fantastic. Tez himself is an AoE assassin for arts, and he's also a support of sorts. He's really good. He's able to give himself 70% NP and also support a lot of allies. He has a very interesting way of supporting in that he can support anyone that has guts. I really like him. I use him a whole bunch, and he also has the ability to increase the power of your master skills, which is a very unique thing that he has. Kukulkan is the best current foreigner in our version of the game. She's an absolutely tremendous. If you're looking for a Buster power strengthener to go with them, in these GSSRs, you have Kukulkan. She would be absolutely wonderful. I am also slightly biased because she's one of my favorite characters, second favorite, and she's also NP6 for me, and she has always done me good no matter anything. All her skills are well built and designed. They have an additional way to be stronger at the price of crit stars. She's able to gain 10 crit stars every turn on herself. She turns any form of invincibility placed on her into... I always forget the name of it when it's on the fly, but not to stop my flow here, into anti-purge defense, which is like a stronger version of invincibility that can only be removed by removing the buff itself. So if you have Pierce Invincibility, it just completely ignores it. So fantastic. And then over on Summer Scotty, her banner is also another fantastic banner. It features Summer Ibuki, who is my always go-to when it comes to I just need a berserker to kill these things in front of me, and I don't want to use Buster because they're both bond 15 already. You bring my Castorian, I bring Summer Ibuki, and they kill shit real good. Lady Avalon is also a arts support. Her art support is more crit focused. She also can give overcharge. She can also stop the enemy from NP charging for a single turn, and then she can gain NP back based off of how many enemies she inflicted with that with. Very good unit, kind of like Merlin but for arts, and she's able to do stuff that Castoria isn't equipped for, so she actually still has a place to be used and stuff like that. And then Summer Scotty, she is the quick support. The one thing I will always say about quick is that quick requires a lot of requirements. So there are certain players in the game that just don't want to really mess with quick all that much. But I like quick units, and if you are a fan of a quick unit, then you obviously need to get Summer Scotty. Shoutouts to Miss Cute Kirby, who is going for Summer Scotty specifically so she can have a support for her boy Takatsuji, who she absolutely loves. And that is, I think, the best advice I can give if you're just someone who's looking for something. A thing to remember about the GSSR is that many people take the GSSR as a chance to go for one of the characters. Like I said in my longer video, the way I think you should approach GSSR is of one of two ways. One is to try and pick a banner that will make you the happiest, which is the way I typically go, which is why I go for Borderless Pavilion 2, because all three of these would make me happy if I got them. including Alice, who would be NP2 for me, but I could use a little bit of the power, so I would be perfectly happy with that. And if I got one of these two, which is Aoko or Ushigozen, I'd be over the moon with it. But then there's also other people who specifically see this as a chance to get one of their faves. Let's say, for example, New Year's Pavilion. Muramasa's on it. You're a big Emiya fan. You're like, I'm going for my boy. I'm going for him. This is a 1 in 4 chance, so that means there's a 25% chance for you to get a Muramasa and a 75% chance of failure. And if you, let's say you don't care about any of the other characters on here, you're going to be obviously mad, and you're going to be like, I can't believe I missed it. I only cared about one guy. I personally always go for the happy route, so I don't personally ever try and go this way. But the thing I'll say about this is that if your love is so strong for one specific type of person that you are still going to go for them, even though you know the other options are going to make you absolutely fucking mad, all I can say is I wish you the best of luck. I hope your love shines through, and as I always say, just don't miss. The easiest way to solve it, just don't miss. And that, everyone, is basically it. Like I said, I have a longer video if you're interested in that, but this is a relatively pretty quick one for what it is. 10 minutes. I almost made it to exactly 10 minutes. It's about 11 minutes right now, but we're at the end of the video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, whatever it may be. And until next time, I wish you all the best of luck. Till next time, bye-bye. Peace.